everyone, it's Emily, and I'm at Bobby B's right now, and I'm doing my analysis on the future of illusion, which is by Sigmund Freud. So let's get on into it. So this book was released in 1927 and expresses how Freud disagrees with the dynamics of religion, and the author explains that Freud's perspective of religion is built on others' need for oneness, which is basically just like having a higher power, and how its lies preys upon the young and vulnerable. And this is primarily due to the fact that like children don't they learn from their parents or other people that they look up to, and if their parents are affiliated with a religion, then the parents are spreading lies to their young, and it like preys upon them, and because they're vulnerable, they're just willing to accept whatever the parents are saying. It also is how humanity attempts to personify nature. This mainly correlates with God's creation story, as well as just the dynamics that go on in the world is because of an all-powerful God, and how Freud's perspective of religion ensures, or the religion ensures mortality, and people that are affiliated with religion find content and security within the idea of mortality and death. And I feel like Freud is just seems like such a fear. He's like has so much fear within inside him because of his perspectives that are portrayed in this article, which I will discuss further later. But also Freud concludes that human society needs to advance by abandoning their religion, and that is plaguing societal development because people are affiliated with religion. Another note that I put is like, I know I'm not like identifying the specific article, but like both of them are very complementary, so I'm trying my best to identify the article. So like all of those summary points were from the first one, however there's a lot of comparative aspects that are also mentioned in the second article as well. So my favorite quote is, having lived the period of the First World War, Freud had already witnessed the suffering that had resulted from religious differences. The reason why I chose this quote is like, I feel like this is the only quote in the book that explains Freud's life. A lot of it is Freud's perspective on religion, but this one shows that like primarily it like kind of hints to the fact that maybe the effects of the First World War, because of the religious differences, this shaped his perspective on why he's so anti-religion and how religion is illusion. I wish there was more that the author included, or I wish there was more of a biographical aspect within these articles, because it can show like why Freud rejected God or like other gods or any religion like permanently. And definitely, like, I feel like this experience alone can be quite traumatic, and I can see how it can shape his perception of religion. But I don't know, I just have like an intuition that there might be something else that pertains to this belief system that he has. Do I agree with the author's perspective? I think that is pretty obvious. I pretty much disagree with every statement that Freud has said. But however, like the two that I disagree with the most is like his perception of God and culture, and this is mainly in the second article. And I can see how Freud perceives God as all-powerful because he is all-powerful. However, Freud's interpretation of an all-powerful God correlates with fear. And I feel like if you're a Christian because you fear God, you're not necessarily a Christian because you don't know God, because God's character is full of love, and he has love, unconditional love for us, that he sent his only son to die on the cross for our sins. Therefore, it seems like his core beliefs involving religion is mainly fear-based, and it's like attacking people rather than inviting people, if that makes sense. As for culture, Freud believes that culture exists to defend humans against natural destruction, and it's psychological. It adds psychology to nature, and I disagree with this primarily because it seems like Freud's definition of culture is mainly religious-based, and it's not. I feel like nowadays the term culture is so broad that it can identify with like ethnicity or traditions. I feel like just by like attending my world civ class, I've learned that like nowadays we interpreted so much information that has been passed down generationally from our ancestors, and that we are applying it today. And I feel like the same thing can work for religion. However, it's more effective if it's like living and adapting to our environment. I feel like that is definitely an aspect of culture. But like I said, culture doesn't really associate with religion entirely, and that's where I disagree with. However, I can see how like our belief system gives excuses for natural destruction, but like it just seems so like the way that he words it seems really aggressive, and it's not that way, if that makes sense. How does this information relate to my own experiences? I was once an atheist. I will fully say that. I was an atheist mainly in high school, and I was struggling to find God amidst the chaos that I was experiencing. And I can understand where Freud is coming from, like with some of the points that he's making as an atheist. However, because I once saw that like Christianity or any religion was kind of an illusion, I was like, why are these people believing in God? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because I was so hyper focused on the creation story, because I felt like it didn't make sense that God created the world like he did. I felt like it had to be nature driven. But like the way that Freud words it seems so aggressive, and it's really not necessary for it to be that aggressive. Like saying that like these people are like, it kind of seems like he's like insulting people that believe in religion, and it just seems it's really aggressive. But I can understand the points that he makes as someone that was an atheist, but now like I could disagree with pretty much every statement that he said. But yeah. So the question that I would pose to a larger group is, this is a hard question because we don't get enough input or insight in these articles, but like, what do you think shaped Freud's perspective of religion in terms of being inclusion? Like, I know we've learned about Freud in past psychology classes based on the ideas that he has had, but this is very new where we are introduced to his perspective of religion. But I wonder what you guys think. Like, do you think like the First World War had a ginormous impact on his like perception of religion, or do you think it was like another reason from his childhood? And if you know his backstory, I would love to hear like additional information that could pertain to his atheistic perspective. So I'm really excited to talk about this in class, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.